Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So we're looking at metals and energies as we kick off the week. Gold and oil really spiking in the last couple of sessions due to the tensions that have been going over the weekend, and on the Monday morning, as we've seen a couple of gaps in the market from the weekend, and this is because of trading sentiment and obviously safe haven assets such as gold being traded on quite significantly. So we're seeing gold jump roughly just over $40 since Friday session, but we're seeing a bit of a resistance now at the 1850 level. It has kind of touched it or breached it slightly, but has fallen away since then as well. I'm not really using any RSI or any other indicators today, just looking on price action only. On the daily chart, as you can see, gold is really looking likely that it could have some kind of heavy resistance at 1850. Just zoom in so it's a bit easier to see. And now we're just seeing at the moment where the next signal could be. Well, obviously, if we break the psychological handle of 1850, we could possibly see a little bit more of a upswing in price action as well, depending on how long the news will keep on coming out of this terrible conflict that has been happening. So with that being said, where are the opportunities in the market? Well, look, if we look on the 4-hour chart, we're just seeing now a possible move a little bit higher. As you can see, heavy gap on the weekend, as we've seen on a lot of instruments, and as we'll see on oil shortly. So we're just seeing now if we're going to have a runaway gap, meaning if we're going to have more of a push to the upside, or if we're going to have a recovery gap where obviously price action will cover the gap and start moving back and consolidating where it was as well before the conflict did happen. So we're just seeing now if price action is going to start moving below this line and then consolidating back to where we were on Thursday, roughly between the 1833 to 1813 area, this $20 bounce that we saw recently as well. Because if we just quickly go on to silver's obviously got another move higher. I'll just put it on the daily chart, because before we had this jump in price action, we were expecting a possible touch at $20 for silver. So this will be interesting if we start, once the ripple effects of the news, the fundamental news events have calmed down, if price action will be back to normal and if we're going to start moving towards $20 again. So this will be very interesting indeed. Looking at oil though, as you can see, a very big gap over the weekend, jumping a few dollars to the upside, but it's not only because of, well, it is pretty much because of the same reason gold has been jumping. However, there was a worry that this was a slight correction in the first place after we dropped nearly $10 in just a few trading sessions. Obviously, OPEC have something to do with that as well. And also, if there's going to be any kind of big move in the market for oil, it will probably happen before the end of the year. So we're going into the fourth quarter now. Before the end of the year, we're expecting a touch or an attempt at $100 like we did a couple of years ago. But will this happen again now that we've had this big news event as well? We'll have to wait and see. Looking on the 4-hour chart, as I said before, we were slowly consolidating to the downside. You can see wave after wave moving lower, but this gap in the market has just changed things slightly for now. But as you can see already, we've jumped and we've got one full bullish candle from the morning on the 4-hour chart, and then two bearish candles after that. So if it keep on going, again, will we see a runaway gap on this particular instrument, or will we see this covering gap, and will it actually cover 100% and go back down to roughly the lower regions of $80? We'll have to wait and see, but obviously big news to talk about. Keep an eye on all the markets that could be affected. Safe havens are something that we always keep an eye out for, because they're always something that can bring good opportunities as well. So let's stick around with us. We'll let you know all the details on our Telegram and YouTube channel as this video is posted. Feel free to comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So have a great trading day ahead, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.